Reason Kody Brown did not get promoted in his church. The Brown family of sister wives fame isn't active in the AUB any longer. But when the series first began, they were incredibly devout members. In fact, several fans expected Kody Brown to have some sort of leadership position based on his faith and personality. But in Sunday night's new episode, the family patriarch admitted there was a very specific reason he wasn't able to serve as a church leader. What happened? Kody Brown is in love with his hair. In the LDS faith, it's strongly discouraged for men to have long hair. But as Kody Brown pointed out in Sunday night's episode, this is a social rule. It's not part of the Bible. However, he boldly proclaimed in his confessional that he took a stand and refused to cut his hair to please the church leaders. Sadly, his choice cost him a leadership position. I hope someone else laughed as hard as I did when Kody said their old church said he couldn't be in a higher-up position at the church unless he cut his hair. We all know Kody is obsessed, and I can just picture him having an absolute breakdown about not wanting to chop it off, a Sister Wives viewer recently shared on Reddit. Several other Sister Wives viewers admitted that scene in particular stuck out to them. Kody Brown has always been vain about his hair, but not everyone realized it cost him a leadership position. Sister Wives viewers don't think a leadership position was on the table. Kody Brown has been known to exaggerate, on the other hand. Others suggested that the AUB leadership never wanted to consider Kody for any position. They simply used his hair as an excuse because they knew he wouldn't cut it. Other Redditors wrote, "Willing to make 3 wives and at least 13 children struggle and go without because his faith is so important. But less important than his haircut? No one asked him to be in a leadership position in their church. He's lying. It's plain to see he's inept at everything he attempts to do. Even his own schoolmates didn't like him, so it's doubtful the church authorities liked him either. This made me smile. Those church leaders knew the real Kody and the vanity he had around his hair. He clearly put himself and his looks before God. I bet one person made a joke about his hair at the time, and he took that to the extreme like he does." Kody Brown sat in his home office, staring at the framed picture of his family, a sprawling portrait of multiple wives and children. The image, meant to embody unity and strength, now felt like a taunt. His mind churned with the same question that had haunted him for weeks. Why hadn't he been promoted in the church? For years, Kody had envisioned himself as a leader in the Apostolic United Brethren, AUB, a position that would cement his legacy within their faith community. He believed his life, a plural marriage with 4 wives, was a testament to his commitment to their shared beliefs. He had checked every box, attending meetings, contributing financially, and upholding the principles of their faith. Yet, when the council announced new leadership roles, Kody's name was conspicuously absent. The initial shock of the snub had given way to introspection. He replayed conversations, analyzed interactions, and scrutinized his own behavior, trying to pinpoint where he had gone wrong. His first thought was to consult his wives. Each had their own perspective on the church and his role within it, and perhaps their insights could shed light on the situation. Cristin, his third wife, was the first he approached. She had always been the most vocal about her faith and their shared beliefs, and Kody thought she might have some idea of why he was overlooked. "Cristin," he began, stepping into her kitchen, "I need to talk to you about the church." Cristin, busy preparing dinner, gave him a wary glance. Their relationship had been strained in recent years, and she wasn't one to mince words. "What about the church?" she asked, her tone neutral but cautious. Kody hesitated. "Why do you think I wasn't considered for a leadership role?" Cristin set down her knife and turned to face him. "Do you really want my honest opinion?" "Of course," Kody replied, though he braced himself. "I think the council sees through you," she said bluntly. "You're so focused on appearances, on how things look from the outside, that you've lost sight of what truly matters in our faith." Kody's jaw tightened. "That's not fair. I've dedicated my life to this family and this church." Cristin crossed her arms. "Have you? Or have you dedicated your life to being the center of attention?" "Leadership isn't about you, Kody. It's about service and humility. When was the last time you put the needs of someone else above your own without expecting recognition?" Her words stung, but they lingered in his mind as he moved on to Janelle, his second wife. Janelle had always been pragmatic and level-headed, and Kody hoped she might offer a different perspective. "Janelle," he began as they sat in the living room, "I need your thoughts. Why do you think the council passed me over?" Janelle considered him carefully. I think it's because they've seen how you handle conflict, she said, or rather, how you don't handle it. When things get tough, you deflect or shut down. Leadership means addressing problems head-on, even when it's uncomfortable. Kody frowned. I deal with conflict all the time. Look at our family dynamic. Do you know how hard it is to keep everyone happy? Janelle gave him a pointed look. Exactly. You're so focused on trying to please everyone that you end up pleasing no one. The council needs leaders who can make tough decisions, not ones who avoid them. Frustrated but not deterred, Kody turned to Robin, his fourth and youngest wife. Robin had always been his staunchest supporter, and he hoped she would offer him the validation he desperately needed. Robin, he said, joining her in the den, why do you think the council didn't promote me? Robin's eyes softened, and she reached out to hold his hand. Kody, I think they don't understand you the way I do. They see a version of you that's shaped by the opinions of others. If they truly knew your heart, they would see you're a natural leader. Kody felt a surge of relief. Finally, someone was on his side. But, Robin continued, they also look for leaders who unite people, not divide them. And whether it's fair or not, they might see the tensions in our family as a reflection of your ability to lead. Her words deflated him. He had hoped for unconditional support, but even Robin had her reservations. Finally, he approached Mary, his first wife. Their relationship had been fractured for years, but Kody knew he couldn't ignore her perspective. Mary, he said, I need to know why you think the church didn't promote me. Mary raised an eyebrow. Do you really want my opinion? Yes, Kody said, though his patience was wearing thin. Mary leaned back in her chair. I think the council sees the same things I do. You're more concerned with power than with purpose. Leadership in the church isn't about status, it's about serving the community. And frankly, Kody, I don't think they see you as someone who serves others. Kody's face flushed with anger. That's not true, he snapped. I've done everything I can for this family and this church. Mary shrugged. Maybe that's the problem. You're so focused on what you've done that you don't see what you've missed. As the days passed, Kody's frustration turned inward. Each wife's words echoed in his mind, forcing him to confront uncomfortable truths about himself. Cristin's critique of his need for recognition, Janelle's observation about his conflict avoidance, Robin's comment on family unity, and Mary's blunt assessment of his priorities, all painted a picture he couldn't ignore. One evening, Kody sat alone in his office, the silence pressing down on him. He opened his Bible, seeking solace and guidance. As he read, a verse stood out to him. Whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant. The words struck a chord. For so long, Kody had equated leadership with authority, with being seen and respected. But true leadership, he realized, was about humility and service, qualities he had overlooked in his quest for recognition. The next Sunday, Kody attended church with a renewed perspective. Instead of seeking validation, he focused on listening, helping, and connecting with others. He joined the congregation in setting up chairs, distributed hymnals, and engaged in genuine conversations. For the first time in years, he felt a sense of peace. While he still hoped for a leadership role someday, Kody began to understand that his worth wasn't defined by titles or positions. True leadership wasn't about being promoted, it was about lifting others up. And in that moment,